CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon and thank you for joining us. I'm Naja Sherman and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Let's take a look at today's top stories.
Always alerting, always tracking. This is Next Weather.
And taking a live look outside, scattered storms still moving through the area, but they are not done yet. Let's get right to Next Weather. Meteorologist Cindy Pressler tracking it all.
Interesting, by the look of that sky cam, clear blue sky, that's along the beaches right now, but look what's going on inland. You get into western Broward and Miami-Dade County, and we've got a line of some strong thunderstorms with a lot of lightning here, so we're going to keep an eye on this cluster in particular. That is the sea breeze that came in, and that's going to allow some energy or some lift with this cluster, producing quite a bit of lightning here, very heavy downpours, could be some gusty winds, and this cluster could produce funnel clouds this afternoon. That's not out of the question either. This line is making its way to the southeast at only 15 miles per hour, slow moving. So the potential for some flooding to happen with this, it's there. It'll be making its way toward the Doral area, Sweetwater, 826. All of these areas could see this heavy rain along with some lightning and gusty winds coming in. Again, getting into the metro area. Fewer thunderstorms down here across southern Miami-Dade, but we did have some rain earlier, and we even had a flood advisory for downtown Miami. That was just a few minutes ago. It was canceled, picked up about an inch and a half of rain very quickly. Since then, that storm has died off, but look what the rain has done to the temperatures. It is now down to 85 degrees. Our high so far today has been 92. Look at this, 82 degrees in Homestead. So these rain showers really make a difference and really giving us some nice relief from that heat. But what it feels like, 100 right now at Fort Lauderdale. So that area has not had the rain. But look at this down here in Key West. It feels like it's 103 degrees. Much better here in Miami. It feels like it's in the mid-90s right now. Can you believe I'm saying that? It feels better in the mid-90s. Showers and thunderstorms will continue this afternoon into this evening, at least according to our rain tracker, the modeling. And then look at this by tonight. We might have some storms again over Broward County. In any case, there still is the chance that we'll see these. A little line coming in across the very southeastern part of Miami-Dade overnight, and then tomorrow we'll start the whole process over again. Scattered showers and thunderstorms again by the afternoon. We're going to take all that humidity and that heat, build off of that, plus the sea breeze is coming in. So there's not a strong flow here, so some of these storms kind of willy-nilly which direction they're moving, but overall it looks fairly wet and warm too. 93 tomorrow. These are close to record highs. Then we cool off, and oh, I know you're looking at that the weekend. That's because we've got a frontal system that is expected to actually clear South Florida going into Saturday. So that means cooler, drier air with daytime highs in the 80s. Wow.
Cindy, thank you. Alarming video released by Sunny Isles Beach Police. It shows a man allegedly trying to strangle a child. CBS News Miami's Peter Dinch has the report.
There is alarming video being released by Sunny Isles Beach Police that we have obtained that they say shows a man trying to strangle a 10-year-old child just before 6 p.m. on Memorial Day. It happened here at Gwen Margolis Park. Police say the suspect's son had been playing with water guns with the victim when the suspect grabbed the child by the neck and restricted his breathing and shook him around. It is not known at this point what prompted this. The child was left with red marks and scratches on his neck. 60-year-old Robert Sandy Marcu was charged with aggravated child abuse with great bodily harm and battery by strangulation. In an arrest report, police say Marcu said, "I know what I did, and I did it to teach him a lesson." We are also hearing from Sunny Isles Beach Police.
It was at this time that that individual approached one of the children involved in that little child's play fight and went ahead and began to violently choke this child and, pretty much scare this child to the point that he was crying hysterically and very upset.
We will have much more on this story coming up in just an hour. In Sunny Isles Beach, Peter Dench, CBS News, Miami.
The Broward Sheriff's Office announced they made an arrest in yesterday's shooting in Lauderhill. It ended with a boy getting hit. Deputies say 53-year-old Jeremy Lockhart was one of the drivers of one of the vehicles involved. He's facing several charges, including possession of a weapon by a convicted felon. Happened yesterday morning near the Fresco y Mas grocery store at the Lauderhill Mall. Police say two drivers got into a fight, and that's when one of them began shooting. A 9-year-old was shot in the foot. He was taken to the hospital where he is now recovering at home. Deputies are still searching for the other driver involved. We are learning more today about a scare in the air. It happened on board a South Florida-bound Spirit Airlines flight. CBS News Miami's Ted Scouten has the scary breakdown.
Terrifying moments on board a Spirit Airlines flight from Montego Bay, Jamaica to Fort Lauderdale on Sunday. Moments after takeoff, the pilot told passengers there was an emergency and they had to go back. A few minutes later, passengers tell us they were told to put on their life jackets for a possible water landing. The plane did land safely back in Jamaica without incident. Spirit Airlines telling us this was a mechanical problem, not an abundance of caution. People were told to put on their life vests. Coming up at 5, we're speaking to passengers about that ordeal.
An investigation is underway this afternoon into what sparked a fire at a pizza shop in Miami. This is a look at Square Pie City. It is along North Miami Avenue and 39th Street. Miami Fire Rescue responded to calls of smoke in the area. When they arrived, there was smoke coming from the pizza restaurant. Smoke also spread to apartments on the second floor. Luckily, no one was hurt. Now at 4, a mother is talking to CBS News Miami after a bullet hit the window of her downtown Miami condo on the 45th floor. The bullet hit right next to a child's high chair. CBS News Miami's Terry Hornstein has the report.
That mom says she was with her husband at an event when it happened, but her 2 toddlers, just 2 and 3 years old, were on the 45th floor of this building with their nanny. The mom says she's thankful it wasn't worse, but she has a message for the person responsible.
I mean, I was completely shocked. I was panicked.
Vivian Oladin says her nanny called her in a panic Sunday night.
That's when we heard that there were several gunshots, and that was actually a bullet that went through our window.
The family lives on the 45th floor of Biscayne South Tower condos in downtown Miami. Vivian and her husband were out of vow renewal, but her 2 daughters, just 2 and 3 years old, were home when it happened.
I don't know if you guys can see, but there's glass on the floor everywhere.
This video shows just how close the bullet came to a high chair where one of the girls had just been sitting. Shattered glass all over the apartment.
It could have been a lot worse. Like, does that go through your mind?
Every single moment of the day. I mean, if we lived in Chicago or another city and we didn't have hurricane windows, I'm 100% sure they would have broken it and they would have shot that chair, and I hope only the chair, because my kids had just gotten up from having dinner.
No one was hurt. Because of that, this mom able to make light of what happened.
We were going to be focused on potty training, so I was expecting a wild weekend, but not wild like this.
But with a serious message for the person who fired that gun.
Turn yourself in, that would be great. Be responsible for what you did and, don't do it again. We're just very thankful that no one was hurt.
I did speak to the City of Miami police. They say it appears at this point this was a stray bullet that hit this family's window. But as far as where that bullet came from, it is still unclear and under investigation. In downtown Miami, Terry Hornstein, CBS News, Miami.
Caught on camera, now to a video gaining traction on social media. It appears to show a group of boaters on Biscayne Bay throwing money into the water from the back of a yacht. This happened near Star Island. It comes just weeks after another group of teens were caught throwing trash into the water near Boca. Miami Beach police tell us they are looking into this incident. When we come back, Pope Francis responds after being quoted using a vulgar term about gay men. Welcome back to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. After weeks of testimony, closing arguments are today and former President Donald Trump's hush money trial. CBS News Miami's Astrid Martinez has the latest from outside the courthouse in New York.
Mr. Trump, how are you feeling about today? Former President Donald Trump arrived at the Manhattan courthouse ahead of closing arguments in his historic criminal trial.
We'll see how it goes. This is a very dangerous day for America. It's a very sad day.
Inside, his defense team told jurors the prosecution's star witness, Trump's former fixer, Michael Cohen, could not be trusted, saying he took an oath. He swore to tell the truth, and he told you a number of things on that witness stand that were lies, pure and simple.
Under the federal law, I did nothing wrong.
Trump is charged with 34 felony counts of falsifying business records. Prosecutors argue it was part of a scheme to subvert election law by concealing a repayment to Cohen for hush money paid to adult film star Stormy Daniels ahead of the 2016 presidential election. Jury deliberations could begin as soon as tomorrow.
Juries convict on circumstantial evidence all the time. In fact, there often is not the type of evidence, smoking gun evidence, that one would want.
As he has done throughout this trial, Trump again claimed this morning that this case is the result of campaign interference by President Biden, his political rival. Outside the courthouse, the Biden campaign pushed back.
We're here primarily because of the threat that Donald Trump poses to the United States of America and to our democracy.
In a sign of how significant today's proceedings are, 3 of Donald Trump's children, Donald Jr., Eric, and Tiffany, joined him in court for closing arguments. Astrid Martinez, CBS News, New York.
Pope Francis is apologizing this afternoon. It's after he was quoted using an Italian slur for gay men. According to a Vatican spokesperson, quote, "The Pope never intended to offend or express himself in homophobic terms. The Pope used the term while reaffirming the Catholic Church's ban on gay priests." The comments were made behind closed doors to Italian bishops back on May 20th. The hunt for the Cup will resume tonight for the Florida Panthers. It is a critical Game 4 in the Eastern Conference Final. The Cats need a win to avoid going down 3-1 to the New York Rangers. The Panthers are coming off a pair of overtime losses. Game 4 is set for 8 o'clock in Sunrise. And before each Panthers game, check out our pregame show, Hunt for the Cup. It is hosted by Mike Cunio and Steve Goldstein. We have you covered tonight ahead of Game 4 starting at 7:30. Tune in to CBSMiami.com, the CBS News app, or Pluto TV. That's the CBS News Miami Quickcast. I'm Naja Sherman. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS News Miami, and have a wonderful day.